We're going to Phoenix. We're going to Scottsdale. We're going to Glendale. They would like to have this called the Arizona Super Bowl. I got that email this week.
Oh.
Please call it the Arizona Super Bowl.
Not Phoenix.
I mean, because there's people in Glendale.
Well, the game is in Glendale.
Look, it's their Super Bowl. So we're going, and I said, let me get an all-time great who lives there to call into the show to get us started. And doing that right now is future Hall of Famer, recent retiree, and one of our favorites, J.J. Watt, kind enough to be the first guest of Super Bowl 57 week right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Is that your kid right there, J.J.?
Yeah, Rich, I got to give you a little caveat right out of the gate.
Yes.
Just finished feeding my son.
Okay.
So if you hear any burping or crying, there's a 50-50 shot on if it's me or him.
Okay, very good. Can we guess when we hear it? Can we guess when we hear it if it's you or it's KJ Watt, correct?
The burp will be, you might not guess it. The crying, you'll certainly know it's me.
Fantastic. I love it. KJ Watt, right? Is that
little Koa James.
Koa James Watt. How's that going, man? You must love this, right? It's all good.
Oh, it's the best, man. I love it. It is. I mean, you know it, and any parent knows it, and you try and explain it to somebody. People used to try and explain it to me, and you just don't really get it until it happens to you, and it's the greatest thing in the world.
And I love it, too. And by the way, I saw your tweets. I don't know if I was more impressed by the fact that you went and summited Camelback with a weighted backpack, or the fact that you took a few hours out of your day, you found that window I would love to do. I'd love to have a few hours. I can't even play golf, let alone, weight backpack and go climb a mountain, man. I don't know how I could. Good for you. Congrats.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing it again, but really enjoyed it first time.
Fantastic, brother.
First time, last time. First time, last time.
46 minutes? For real?
Well, I think that's my problem. So, I'm kidding. I do think I'll do it again.
Okay.
But I'm a very prideful man, and I'm a very big competitor.
Mm-hmm.
So we started. It was me and my buddy from back home, Doug, and we started. And I'm not going to be a punk. So there's people, and I'm like, all right, let's pass that group. And then there's another group like 100 feet ahead. I'm like, all right, let's pass them. So it just turned into this competition, and I forgot I'm 285 pounds. And I also did not realize how far 1.5 miles directly up the mountain is. And it's humbling. It's very humbling, Rich.
Oh, man. Incredible. Well, J.J. Watt joining us here.
You'll like this.
Yeah.
We're like 5 minutes from the top. And the whole way you're like, it's right there. I'm getting so close. You're never close.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dying. I'm like, I said, Doug, stop. I need a break.
Mm-hmm.
So I take a break, hands on knees. And coming the other way down from the top is this wife and husband, and they have like a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old girl, like their daughters with them on their way down from the top. And that was the moment where I just said,
"Right,
you are a real punk, man. Like this is embarrassing."
Well, you know what, JJ? This is where you just got to dig deep. You just got to suck it up, and you just got to try again. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't mind me saying. Just got to try again.
I will. When you get down here, and we'll do it one morning. We'll do the show from the top.
Summit. That'll be great. Fantastic. J.J. Watt here on the Rich Eisen Show Super Bowl week. All right, let's jump into it if you don't mind. You played against both of these teams. Were they the two best, that you faced this year, do you think, J.J.?
I mean, they're very, very good teams, and they're extremely complete. Obviously you have Mahomes and Kelce and everything that offense brings, but you also got Chris Jones, Frank Clark, those guys on the defense. And then you've got the Eagles, who, in my opinion, have built one of the best defensive line rooms I've ever seen. I mean, you've got guys like Robert Quinn, 100-sack guys coming off the bench. You've got Ndamukong Suh, spelling guys. I've never seen a room with so many great D linemen in it. And then you've got an offense that can do so many different things with an O-line that's very, very, very good, and the most dominant quarterback sneak game I've ever seen. They quarterback sneak better than anybody that's ever done it. So it's going to be a hell of a game.
What's it like chasing down Mahomes and Hurts, or being part of a defense that has to account for that part of their game?
It's not that fun. So they're different. They're different players, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I've always said about Pat and chasing him around is that it really does take all four guys, and even then, it's tough because you can't. he's got such incredible arm strength that he can just keep backing up and then still make a 30-yard throw down the field. So even if you win your pass rush clean, he can get away and scramble around and then chuck it wherever he wants to, and he knows Kelce's going to get open. And then with Hurts, he's obviously an incredible passer, but he's an incredible runner in his own right. So if you give him any lane whatsoever, he's gone. He's going to make you pay, for 20, 30 yards. So they're tough to track down. It takes everything. And, the Eagles obviously have an incredible defensive line that's going to have all those guys aimed right at Mahomes, but it's going to be fascinating to watch.
What makes Lane Johnson so good? What do you got for me there?
The guy's so athletic. He's incredibly athletic for his size and the movements he can make and the strength that he has with it. I know I've seen a lot of talk about it on the internet lately, but he does get off that ball very quickly, very, very quickly. So
okay.
He gets to his position faster than anybody in the league gets to their position.
Now I'm detecting just a sense that was it like a hair early? Like, is that what we would call it?
The guy's an unbelievable player.
Yes,
he is truly one of the best I've played against, and that's a fact. And I have so much respect for him. And I am a big believer in if it's not called, that means that it's all right to do. Now, when I play against him, am I talking to the refs every single play, yes? Has it worked? Not once. So, hey, if it's not being called, why wouldn't you do it?
You're not trying, exactly. And so also let's talk about the Kelces real quick, because you just mentioned Travis before. But Jason, I am sure, your level of respect for him is through the roof. You clearly know what it takes to do what you do in the trenches at such a high level for such a long time. He's incredible, man. And I'm wondering what you think of when you compete against him and watch him. J.J. Watt, what do you think about him?
He's a football player, man. Like he is that old school, like tape on his knuckles, like grind it out, but also very, very athletic. He can be a pulling center. He can come around the edge. He can make blocks 10 yards down the field. He's going to play hurt. He's going to do it grimy. He's going to lead that offensive line, and he's going to give Jalen everything he needs. Like, you just, as a player, you have a lot of respect for a guy like that doing it for so long and at such a high level.
And then, again, I know Travis, you said Mahomes knows he's always going to get open, and I know your job is essentially to make sure Mahomes isn't upright to get it to Kelce, but can you answer the question so many fans have is, why is he open all the damn time? Clearly you're circling him. You know what I mean? Clearly you're circling him in meetings. Clearly, like the Jaguars knew that, he's going to catch it, and he catches it 14 times, So what do you got for me there, JJ?
Dude, so like, when the last couple of weeks, obviously I'm watching these games just like a fan, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And you're watching the games, and I'm a player. I've literally game planned against them. We've had double teams called against them, and you have everything lined up. And you watch these games, and Mahomes is scrambling around, running around, and then he chucks it, and all of a sudden the camera cuts to Kelce, who with nobody within 10 yards of him. And me, having been in those meetings, I'm still baffled. Like where is everyone? Like I don't. It's the connection that he has with Mahomes to know exactly how Mahomes is thinking and where he's going to scramble to and what he's looking for. But then it's also just this incredible innate feel for the game, and he can have his head on a swivel at all times and know where the open space is, know what Mahomes' capabilities are, and just get in that spot. But I'm not the only one. It feels like he is in a space 30 yards wide every time.
It's every time, I know, and that's why I'm wondering, because how this happens all the time. And then I guess, before we move on off the game for a second, Hassan Reddick has become such a game wrecker in Philadelphia. If I'm not mistaken, you overlapped with him in Arizona, correct, JJ?
No,
never did.
He was out right before I got here.
Okay,
but
so
yes, he has been absolutely killing it.
So what do you think of him and Chris Jones and the pass rushers in this game and how they can affect the results, JJ? What do you think there?
I think there's a ton of great pass rushers in this game, and I think it's, for me as a defensive lineman, obviously it's going to be a blast to watch because I love watching those guys go to work, and I think that the more dominant forces you have around you, obviously, the better your pass rush situation is going to be because the offense has to account for everybody. So, I mean, Hassan is an unbelievable pass rusher in his own right, and then you add the pieces around him that he's got, you know, the Brandon Grahams and all these Javon Hargrave and these great pass rushers all around him. Now you got to tell the offense, all right, where are you going to slide your center? Where are you going to step your back up into the hole? You know, are you going to keep a tight end or are you going to get him out? And the more one-on-ones that you create, just look at last game. Like, the San Francisco 49ers didn't go into that game thinking, all right, we're going to leave this backup tight end one-on-one with Hassan. But once you get out there and you start, like, seeing all these guys and you have to make those mic points and you have to make those calls, you all of a sudden are like, well, I mean, technically the rules of this play say to leave the backup tight end one-on-one with Hassan, so we do. And then he goes out there and he wrecks the game the way that he does. So it's a blast to watch. It's awesome. And then Chris Jones and those guys on the other side, and Frank Clark has obviously been doing great as well in the playoffs for them. And so I enjoy watching it. I'm looking forward to seeing how difficult they might make these quarterbacks' lives.
J.J. Watt here on the Rich Eisen Show, taking a couple minutes out of daddy daycare or you know, walking the tightrope, calling into the show while actually providing such care right here on the Rich Eisen Show. So we haven't spoken yet since you've decided to retire. Can you just give me the main overarching reason why you decided to say this is enough, J.J.?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, for me, it was much more the mental stress than it was even the physical stress. And that's to say, from an off-season standpoint, you know, when a season ends, I'm maybe a week off and then back into training because and as you get older, you have to put even more time into your training and taking care of your body because it's just natural that it breaks down at a higher rate. So every single day is a mental grind and trying to make sure that you're the most prepared, trying to make sure that your recovery is the best. And even in January, February, you're already, you know, stressing about making sure you're prepared for the next season. And those are the types of stresses and mental gymnastics that I was ready to be done with. I wanted to enjoy time with my son and my wife. I wanted to go through life and know what it feels like to just kind of relax a little bit. And if I miss a workout to play golf, then I miss a workout to play golf. And I don't have to, like, worry, did I do the right thing today or did I hurt my chances of having a good season?
So it just blows my mind that Brady did it till 45. When you're describing, I mean, I've heard what you said before from other guys, but, you know, not first ballot Hall of Famers as much as what you just said, right? Insane that he did it till 45. Correct, JJ?
Oh, that's why anybody who's ever played the game and all of us who know what it takes and know the grind and know the preparation and everything that he's had to do and the success he's had, we have nothing but the utmost respect for him, and we have no problem whatsoever giving him his props as the GOAT, because it is truly incredible what he's done for how long he's done it and how special it is. And not only to do it for that long, but to be the literal best at it and win more Super Bowls than any organization in history is incredible.
Have you thought at any moment, you know, a quiet moment, you know, feeding your son or, you know, summiting Camelback or just behind the wheel of a car that it looks like you're going in the Hall of Fame with Tom Brady? JJ? I have allowed myself, when he retired, you know, to just at least think about the possibility of it for a moment, and it would be obviously extremely cool. I mean, I consider him the greatest of all time. I consider him a friend, and I'm fortunate enough for that. And I'll be the first one to give him every ounce of respect and praise that he deserves if we are lucky enough to go in together. No, and again, I know when I say this sort of stuff to people of your caliber, not just player but human, you know, you don't want to sit here and go, damn right, I'm a Hall of Famer. You are, and you're first ballot one. But the Watts and the Bradys hanging out in Ohio for a weekend. I mean, that's it, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Seriously.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
I consider myself a part of one of the greatest draft classes of all time.
That's right.
I think our draft class was incredible. There's so many great players that I'm honored to be a part of such a great class. And it would be pretty cool to have that opportunity to also maybe go into the Hall with the best of all time.
Hey, man, I remember that draft class because, you know, as we wrap up this conversation here, JJ, you know, there was that Super Bowl in Indianapolis. It was Brady versus the Giants for a second time. you and Cam Newton were signing autographs for Marriott. I was there too, and you were just fresh.
Yeah.
You were just fresh off your first year after dominating there, for the Texans. And I just feel like if I had walked up to you and said your career was going to be this, and it's the one that we just talked about, what would you have said that day to me, man?
It's kind of funny you say that because I'm down here in Arizona right now, and I trained down here for the Combine 12 years ago. And my wife is actually training today at the gym that I trained at for the Combine. So I drove up there last week to check it out with her. And when I was training for the Combine, my parents and we went and looked at houses just for fun because we were like, let's see what, $1 million house in Arizona looks like, how cool that would be.
Yeah.
And now here I sit 12 years later. My wife is a professional athlete. I have our son on my lap, and I am in Arizona in an incredible house that I'm very thankful for. And it's a very surreal feeling. And just like everybody says, it feels like it went by in a blink of an eye, man. It was such a quick 12 years, but I'm so thankful for it. I'm so proud of it. And I've met so many incredible people and had so many experiences that I never in my life thought I would get to have. So I have nothing but gratitude and love.
And a healthy 33-year-old too. I mean, you could do this for a living. The conversing about football. Do you want to do this? Do you want to be in the paparazzi? Like, what are you going to do? What are you thinking, JJ?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I definitely want to stay around the game in some capacity.
Sure.
Not as a coach because the hours are crazy. I do think that there is a possibility of some sort of broadcasting or something if the opportunity is right. But the beauty of every situation is if something isn't right or I don't feel like it's the right situation for me, then I just don't do it, go to the golf course and have some drinks and hang out with my family,
Okay.
So it's a great place for me to be in. I'm very lucky to be in this place at the age of 33.
Hey, man, it goes without saying, if you have any 2 cents you want about broadcasting, you got my number, and this is not the last time we'll talk, but please, that. I'd love to see you be successful, whatever you want. You'd be great at this. There's no question about it. So I'll give you as a parting shot, one shot at it. You want to give me a prediction for Super Bowl 57, J.J. Watt?
Man, that's tough. I've never really done predictions in the past because
I know you're a player. Yeah. You can't piss
but
people.
I'm interested, man. I think. Golly, this is a tough game. I'm a D-line guy, so I'm going to go with the D-line. I started this conversation talking about the D-line, and I think that the Eagles' D-line is one of the most impressive I've seen compiled in one room together. So I'll ride with the Eagles in this one, and see if they can pull it out.
See,
but dude, you know how hard it is to go against Mahomes and Kelce and those guys.
I know.
It's so damn hard. Like this is what's so dumb. Like, and this is one of the things about like commentary and analysts that like I'm going to go on TV at some point and have to make a prediction like this, and they put the little graphic at the bottom where you pick your win.
Oh yeah.
And then on Monday, every single fan comes back. Oh, look at you, idiot! Look at this moron. He had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. If I had an idea, guess where I would be? The win in Las Vegas, putting every dollar I had on. I got no clue, just like you guys.
Welcome to that world. And by the way, like I said, you're great. What you just did right there, if you don't mind me just, giving a snap analysis, what you did just there is you said, I'm a D-line guy. I believe the defensive line of the Eagles is better. I'm going there. So if the Chiefs win and they come up to you and say, what gives? You're like, hey, I was just a D-line guy. That's it. You're able to fall back on that. Well done. You're good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you did that snap judgment right off the bat. You didn't know I was going to ask you that, and you're holding a small baby in your hand. You can do this. Trust me.
I'm giving Koa is the MVP of this interview. He's being quiet for this long after feeding. I am thoroughly impressed and thankful.
Like every Watt, he's coachable. Well done. Thank you. Thanks for the call, brother. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And if you need anything at AZ, let me know. It's a beautiful place.
We'll do it. I'll see you out there. Thank you, J.J. Watt. You be well.
All right. See you guys.
It's J.J. Watt. He's now going to try and summit Camelback holding his child. Right here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Beast mode. We got time to play golf with JJ? It sounds like a good
Clearly.
Sounds like a good hang.
I don't know if we want a piece of that.
Sounds like a good hang.
Hey.
Drinks, some gambling.
Yeah, I think. Let me just say this: if he was at the Pro Bowl games this weekend, I don't think Jordan Poyer would be winning the long drive.
Yeah, 320. It feels like JJ could go.
I think
further.
Absolutely. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.